Hey, welcome guys to my very first Friday conversation where you send me the question and I will answer it for you. And today I got a very special question for you guys from a young man who wants to know the myths behind launching the rocket, also known as shucking the corn, also known as the 5-knuckle shuffle, also known as timing Old Faithful. He wants to know the myths behind masturbation.
See, we only like music that rhymes.
So this is my very first Friday conversation, and I was going to do this a while back, but yeah, I kind of waited. But you'd be surprised how many people send me messages on Xbox or on YouTube asking questions about this and that. So if you guys have questions, it doesn't have to be game related, whatever it is, just shoot it to me. You can always send it to me on Xbox Live. It's Mike 5000. Now it's the letter O, not the number 0, the letter O, Watts. Also, you can message me here on YouTube as well. So today I want to keep this PG-13. I'm not trying to be X-rated, explicit, anything of the nature about the question that was posed to me. So the question was asked, and I'm going to keep the person's name anonymous right now. Now, if you guys send a question, I'll make sure I give you a shout out on there as well. But the question is, I'm 17 years old. I live in a very religious household, so talking about things of a personal nature is frowned upon. I'm afraid of searching for them on the family computer and fear that they may be found. Skip ahead. Can masturbation be harmful? You know, personally, I think it's kind of sad that you can't talk to your parents about stuff like that. You know, that's how a lot of misconceptions and all sorts of misunderstandings get started, by not asking those questions. But before I answer the question, I want to let you know, I've worn a lot of hats in my lifetime, meaning that I've worked a lot of different jobs in my life. And one of those jobs, I worked at an adult entertainment store. And one of the things that they taught you there in their orientation was to make people feel comfortable about talking to you about things of that nature, things of a personal nature. So, you know, being open and being warm and not funny about it is kind of something that I've grown accustomed to from working at that place. So one of the things that I wanted to do was to look up the myths themselves. I wanted to find out if wrestling with the anaconda can actually lead to any of the myths that I've heard personally about doing it. All right, so the most popular one that I found is, can a stress relief session with Dr. Johnson actually cause you to go blind? And from everything that I've seen, those two aren't related, so no, you can't go blind from directly doing this. Now, I did find one case where a man was in his car and he was caught arm wrestling the one-eyed champ. And as they processed him, and took him to jail, he actually started to lose his vision. He was going blind, but they couldn't tell if it was from the stress of being booked or from him drinking earlier or from him pumping his own shotgun. But in that case, he actually started to go blind. All right, next on the myth list is, can adjusting your TV set cause hairy palms? And I think everybody's heard that one too. But let's see. So I looked this one up, and I looked. And again, there's no direct relation from playing a little 5 against 1 to having hairy palms. Now, I did find a case where a guy was letting Elvis leave the building, and he did it a little too vigorously, and he kind of pulled hairs out and all this other stuff. But lighting the Roman candle does not cause hairy palms. All right, so the next one on the list, the next myth that I found was, can removing a little rust increase size? And I know for a lot of folks, if this were true, it'd be a whole different world. But from what I saw, doing a little Jedi training does not increase size. Now, again, I found another case where a guy was a little too overzealous in engaging hand-to-hand combat, and he actually pulled or dislodged some things, so technically he did increase size, but other than that, shaking hands with the unemployed does not increase size. So this last one really isn't a myth, more of a preference of taste, I guess. So the question is, how many times a day is too many times a day? How many times is too much? Is there a numerical limit to how many times someone should churn the butter and during the day? And again, I looked this up and I kind of read over a little thing, and again, there's no set number to how many times a day a person can caress the old zesty Zamboni and it be considered awkward. Now, it really comes down to if or if not it interferes with your regular life, or if not it interferes with, you know, things that you're trying to do. So I don't think there's a natural limit to how many times you can hammer out some lumber, but you know, if it begins to affect your regular life, then you're probably doing it a bit too much there, buddy.
See, we only like music that rhymes.
So first of all, I want to say thanks for watching. I always appreciate you tuning in. Also, again, if you have questions, and feel free to leave it there. Again, my gamer tag is Mike 5000 watts. Remember, it's the letter O, not the number. Or you can always just send me a message on YouTube. If I pick your question, I'll make sure that I put your name out there. I'll give you a shout out as well. As always, if you like the video, click the little like button down there. I hate that I have to tell people that. And if you like what you saw here, I got more of that, make sure you click subscribe. I had a lot of fun doing this. I found out there are a lot of different names to call that. I mean, there was a whole list of it. But again, thanks a lot, guys.